my biggest struggle before I came to 11th Element was a lack of community. So I moved to Florida and about 2 years now, and I came kicking and screaming.
Well, I lost my best friend and my father about 3 months apart from each other. I lost a lot of my motivation to do some of the things that I used to do. Working out being one of them. I was always athletic. I always worked out. That's the one thing that I always had my release. At the time, I let myself go.
So I struggled with addiction for about 10 years. You know, when I got brought to my point of desperation, I was willing to do whatever it took. Through the recovering process, I went through residential treatment. Through this process of recovering, I found a higher power. You know, I formed my own conception of God.
I didn't want to read my Bible. I didn't want to pray. And I couldn't figure out why, because you would think being in a dark space, that's what I would turn to, and that's how, in some ways, how I would handle adversity and struggle in the past. But I was so angry at him for bringing me down here and feeling like I was alone.
My relationship with Jesus after that was not good. I was very confused. The road looked like it was ending for me in my faith. I was in a very dark place. Definitely didn't feel like I can get myself back into having a relationship with God.
I still felt shackled. I still felt tied down. The higher power just wasn't enough for me because, you know, I still felt fearful. I still felt, you know, like I was being judged. I still felt like I was still trying to mask things and mask how I felt and not be my true authentic self. It ended up becoming money. It ended up becoming girls. It ended up becoming whatever. I was just trying to fill the God-sized hole with people, places, and things, and I was working for God's love.
So I found 11th Element through the Avenue Church, and I was fairly new there. I was having a hard time getting plugged in. A friend of mine that I had met there told me that she knew Logan and said it would be a really cool thing. She knew I liked to exercise and run and do different things. So my first day at 11th Element, I walked in and felt a very warm community, which I was excited about. It was definitely a diverse group of people, and so I felt like I could find my place there.
In the mornings, we all get together, we hang out, we talk, we see how everyone's doing. Then Logan does a short sermon that ties life and God together, and then we have a great workout.
Like, man, if I'm actually remembering and reminding myself of the first coming of Jesus and how important that was and how it literally changed the world, well, then my life is probably going to look a little different.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of community. You know, we're all very close. When I leave 11th Element, I always just feel so refreshed. I feel accomplished every week. I feel with the community, I feel accepted. You know, I feel like I can be myself. That's something that I've always struggled with my whole life. So
my relationship with the Lord has definitely changed a lot in the last year, and it's been a lot more hopeful. There are people that are asking me, how is your walk? How are you? Are you reading your Bible? Are things, how are things going? And not in an accusatory way, but in a check-in way and in a way of people who care.
Being with 11th Element now for a year, and the journey has gotten me back to having a relationship with him on a daily basis and making sure that I pray and talk to him as often as I can. Through Logan, through the camaraderie, through the motivation of the people here, it really helped open me back up and get me back on track with my faith. Right now, Jesus is hope.
So my relationship with Jesus as my Father is, he's always there. He always cares. You know, he's always working in my favor. He's always doing what's best for me. There are times where things get tough. There are storms that come. I've never felt more free in my life. I've never felt more secure, like they're good. You know, no matter what's happening, it's always good. Yeah, like times are tough. Yeah, I have to pray through it. It's not always sunshine and rainbows. It's you know, a lot of tough times, a lot of tough work, but it's also trusting. Working like it depends on you, but praying like it depends on God. You know, He's so merciful, you know, when I don't deserve it, when I'm not worthy of it. In His eyes, I am. It's happiness, it's growth, it's beauty, it's grace, things working out perfectly.